'Tis the season to buy new golf gear. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson. Welcome back to Get Good at Golf. This week we're going to help you with a little bit of a buying guide as to what golf clubs you should potentially buy and why moving in to the new year. We're going to kick things off today with driver. So what should you potentially be looking at when you want to buy a new driver? Should you get the new Callaway? Should you get the new TaylorMade? Should you get the Ping, the Odyssey? Odyssey? You're not getting an Odyssey one, are you?
I don't know.
But think about for a second, first of all, what your budget is, and then what you're hoping to achieve through this purchase. Are you hoping to achieve longer drives, which a lot of people will be wanting to do? Are you wanting to achieve straighter drives? Are you wanting to achieve just enjoying golf that little bit more? Because potentially that might be why you're wanting to spend the money. And also think about what potential brand you want, because one of the big misconceptions that I see so much when people go and buy a new driver, they try and match their driver with their fairway woods, with their irons, even with their bag, their towel and their umbrella, which is the total wrong way to go about it. So when you are going to buy a new driver, I want you to think about the three key principles as to what you're wanting to do. The first one is, what loft are you going to buy? I use a 9-degree Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond driver, and the reason why I use a 9-degree Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond driver is because I know that I'm looking for a certain ball flight. I know that I'm looking for a certain flight window, and the small fact that whenever I've been fitted, this is the loft driver that I've been fitted into. So it's really important to think about previous fittings. It's really important to think about what exactly you want from your clubs. But if you can go and get fitted for your driver, this is a very strange time of year because you'll see new drivers come out, you'll see old drivers get reduced in price, and sometimes you might not be able to go and get fitted for the older generation. But if you think about previous fittings, maybe go and spend some time with new product and with someone that will help you get fitted for the driver you want, that's always going to help you make sure that you get the right specs in your driver. Generally, you will find that in the big brands, in the Callaway, the Titleist, the TaylorMade, the Ping, there's not going to be a huge difference in performance levels year from year from year, also brand from brand, as long as you go and get the right head. So the second point after the loft is, what forgiveness head do you need? Do you need the triple diamond? Do you need the low spin? Do you need something that's going to be 1700, 1600 spin? Or can you get a driver that's a little bit more forgiving, the weight's a little bit further back, i.e. the standard Paradigm or the Paradigm X in this occasion? And can you get something that's a little bit more forgiving that helps you keep that ball in play? Because you put these two things together, the right loft, the right head style with the right weight in, it's really going to help you hit more fairways, hit longer drives, and potentially get good at golf. There's one factor that we've not spoken about yet, which Chris is going to talk you through, and it could be the most important factor, or it could not matter at all. Let us know what you think.
Right guys, so we do want to talk about what kind of shaft you've got in there. So if you've got the right loft, if you've got the flight that you're looking for, so when you're going for that fitting, think about, right, what flight do you like to see? Do you need something that's a little bit higher launching? Do you need something lower launching? That's going to help towards that. Obviously, then, like James mentioned, you've then got to think about the head. Do you want the draw bias head? Do you want a fade bias head? Do you want just a standard driver with changeable weight so you can tinker with that over the season, depending on what you are doing with your lessons? But then obviously shaft, because a lot of people go, right, well, my friend Bob, he's got a stiff shaft and I think I swing it about the same speed as him. I've not been for lessons, but we look about the same because we hit it the same distance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order a stiff shaft. Then from there, all we do is lose golf balls out to the right. I've got the exact same shaft as Bob, but I'm not hitting it as far as him anymore because you've just gone for a stock shaft. The shaft for me is the most important thing. If you're looking for a new driver, you're looking to try and gain distance this year, you might just need to look at what kind of shaft you've got in your driver and maybe just change that. That's a cheaper option than maybe buying one of the latest and greatest, and that might gain you yardage. So think about it. Do you need a regular flex? Do you need a senior flex? Do you need a stiff flex? Do you need an extra stiff flex? And within that, there is all different options as well. And this for me is where fitting is essential. Even if you're not going to buy a new club, go and understand what kind of shaft you want. One stiff shaft might be totally different to another stiff shaft, and depending on what head you put that in, it can also be totally different. If you put this hazardous shaft in this Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond, which me and James have both been using, and then take it out and put it maybe, let's say, into a Ping G430 LS Tech, it might produce a totally different ball flight. It might feel totally different depending on the head style. But for us, we know that this is the correct shaft. It's being fitted perfectly for us. That's why certainly this year I've been able to hit a lot more fairways, but that's not only because I've got the right head, I've got the right loft, but for me the shaft has been the most important. And one final thing guys, one extra tip is making sure you've got the right grip size on your clubs for you. So a lot of people start to think, right, I need a mid-size grip, I need a jumbo size grip. Again, the only thing that is in contact with that golf club is our hands, and if that is too thin,
Hopefully.
well, hopefully it is. If that grip is too thin and I'm strangling that club, then that's going to affect our levers. That's going to affect how much speed you can get out into the club. And if you're somebody with maybe a little bit of arthritis, you might need something that's a little bit bigger for you to be able to grip that even with less pressure, so you can make it nice and easy to hinge that club. Something as little as that, something as important as the grip, needs to be right for you to make sure you can get the right levers, get the right amount of speed. Keep hitting drivers as long as possible for your club head speed, hopefully hitting more fairways. Let's now move on and talk about fairway woods.